Okay, I'm back today on another mask that I'm working on, and I wanted to show where I run into just a little bit of time consuming. It's not difficult, but it'll take just a little bit more time when I get to the side seams. So here's the running stitch. This part, the top edge, and the bottom edge will go along really fast, really smooth during the running stitch. Just bear with me. I'm going to go on ahead and just do this up while it's recording. So it'll take me just a second to get there. I'm trying to hold my camera at the same time. Don't ask what I'm using for a fancy camera prop. Eyeglass case. So here, we're almost to the edge. And we'll be able to make just a couple more stitches here. Oh, now I have it caught on a pin. So the sides where the pleats are, it is a little more difficult to do just a straight running stitch. So in that area you may have to just do a normal basic stitch. This probably seems like elementary, but I don't know, not a lot of people do hand stitching anymore, so I just thought I'd show you because I do this on everything. I do it all the time. Okay, now here I'm only going to be able to make a couple more running stitches, and then I'm going to have to just do the basic slow method. If your fabric puckers, it's pretty easy to pull it out. Okay, I'm looking through the camera lens, so these stitches aren't going to be straight like my normal stitches. So here's where it's easier to just do the basic slow, one stitch at a time. And I like to make sure I'm tacking down both edges of the pleats by hand, just to make sure it's held into the seam good. Oh, good grief. So yeah, this is the edge where your little tie-end is sticking out and the pleats are at. So these sides take just a tiny bit more time to do. It still goes together pretty quickly, especially when I'm not recording. I could have already had this side stitched up by now, but anyway. It's a little harder to do your running stitch on the sides anyway, is what I'm saying, when you're trying to tack down the edges of the pleats. In case you've tried to do the running stitch on the sides and that didn't work and you wondered why, I have to do the same thing. I have to stop and kind of take it back to the old-fashioned one stitch at a time. And that is it's tacked down good. I wasn't sure. Okay. So sometimes along the edge where these little, whether you're using ribbon or bias tape or t-shirt strips of fabric, you can take an extra little stitch in between there, do a little back stitch or something, just to make sure it's held in there tight, because it's going to get tugged on. So just try to, there's a pleat, try to catch the corner of it, tack it down. And if you think about it, it's going to hold. But if you think about it, I didn't do that here while I was recording, but you can flip it over and make sure if you want to catch the back side of that pleat, you can finagle your stitches to make sure you tack that edge down too, but your stitch is going to hold the seam. It'll be fine.